and he needed to be big and brave. Well, Longstone of County Down, beaten semi-finalists 2 years ago, beaten finalists last year. They've been getting closer and closer, and they're back with a vengeance, it seems, in 2007. Now just throwing the ball around, looking for a gap. Again, the goalkeeper there if needed. This is Eamon Trimble. They're closing this game out even with 7 minutes remaining, and they now have gone 11 points clear. Mickey Moran and the Kickums from Cregan, baffled and bemused by the blistering start that their opponents have made in this second half. Dermot McCann trying to make something happen. The pass overcooked though, broken up by Ambrose Rogers. He really does look every inch the down senior footballer when he's on the burst. Nobody coming to meet him. This is Stephen Doran. Beautiful finish. Well, the Doran brothers will remember this game because they have linked up on more than one occasion and are really in fine form. Frank Dawson, 1 foot in the semi-finals, surely with Longstone. Kickham's though, not out of it just yet. Mark Sweeney, he knows he should have done better. For once, the Kickham's managed to open up that Longstone defence, rounded the goalkeeper, but could only find the side netting. Well, Longstone now will try, surely, and conserve their energy. They have a semi-final to come up later in the day, and in this searing heat, they will need every last ounce of energy that they can muster. Mark Doran heading for the corner flag towards his own goal with 5 minutes left. That will tell you just how in control Longstone are right now. Micheál Higgins, as the Longstone supporters cheer every completed pass, and that didn't look like it would happen at half-time. This game very much in the melting pot. But in the opening 5 minutes of this second half, Longstone have just found another gear. Well, the clock is very much the enemy of the Kickham's now. Coming into this All-Ireland Sevens tournament on the back of a county semi-final defeat to St. Gall's last Sunday. And they have played a lot of football in the last 6 days, and it's beginning to show now. Longstone still full of running and the fresher legs. Cormac Poland thought about the pass, thought about the shot, and he was dead right too. Wonderful score from Cormac Poland. And they really are treating us to the full exhibition now. Pete McCollum. As Oren McCarnan is fouled. Longstone back in numbers to try and clog up that defence. And another Kickham's attack breaks down. Racing forward is Stephen Doran. Support comes from Ryan Kelly. That's his first score. Another score for Longstone. And Ryan Kelly, who's come in off the bench, gives his manager something to think about ahead of the semi-final. Well, 3 minutes left, but it's all over bar the shouting. Longstone in complete control, and on this evidence they have really laid down a marker for the rest of the competition, as Ambrose Rogers just strolls across and quite bizarrely kicks the ball out over his own end line. Well, you don't see that every day of the week, and I'm sure Ambrose will be reminded of that particular mistake later on in the evening. Really is hard for some of the spectators to retain an interest in this game, I do feel, as Kickham's seem to have run out of ideas. Chance of a score though. Mark Sweeney nails a point. It's Kickham's second score of the half, but they really have been blown away. 2 minutes left and counting. Mark Doran usually plays at wing back with the Longstone senior football team. This is Barry Doran, very comfortable on the ball, uses it well. Again, Longstone just cutting through, and it almost was goal number 4. The man who came in along that end line was Stephen Doran, and he almost scored Longstone's 15th goal of this year's All-Ireland Sevens. Foul on Dermot McCann by Mark Doran. This presents the Kickhams with a chance to gloss the final scoreline a little, perhaps add some respectability. They're going to try and work a goal, go short, but it was very, very ambitious to say the least. And Ambrose Rogers can ferry that ball downfield and in his own time. Cormac Poland almost at a walking pace. Longstone trying to finish with a flourish. What a score from Eamon Trimble. Again, so much time on the ball. Could steady, shoot, and land a fine score. Well, it is just the second time that the Kickhams have come to play in the All-Ireland Sevens. Didn't get out of their group last year, quarter-finalists this year, and they will surely have learned many valuable lessons ahead of a possible trip next summer. We're into stoppage time. It's now at the discretion of the referee, John Bannon. Mark Doran playing a little bit of keep ball, and it's all over. The first of the quarter-finals here at the Kilmacud Crokes All-Ireland Football Sevens has come to an end, and Longstone of County Down are safely through. Final scoreline here: Longstone 3 goals and 13 points. The Kickhams of Cregan 1 goal and 5.
Hello and welcome again to Glenalbin, to the Kilmacud Crokes grounds in South Dublin, where after more than 70 matches we've reached the quarter-final stage of the O'Neill's All-Ireland Club Sevens. And it's the winner takes all now, as Caherlistrane of Galway and Moy of Tyrone face off for a place in the semi-finals. The player to watch out for in the Caherlistrane team is, of course, Galway shooting star Cormac Ban at number 6. But it's a panel game, and all the way from 1 to 10 are quality Sevens players. Moy's strength lies with 3 players in particular: the ebullient Sean Kavanagh, younger brother Colm, and number 6 Philip Jordan, all Tyrone inter-county stars. Check. Sky blue and white. They're wearing white and blue. Yeah, colours, they're different. There's a sky blue to the body, and there's actually navy blue shorts for Moy, and the others are white shorts. Exactly.
assisted by Cormac Riley and Jerry McCarran, while on pitch 2, Paddy Russell of Tipperary, assisted by Michael McGann and Paul Faulkner. Jerry Green, please, Jerry Green.
Well, the preparations have been made. Great weather. Dee Lavery, the Moy manager, in a very, very quiet dressing room. Players all seem to know their task before this match started. No harsh words, no roaring, no shouting. Very, very calm approach. Referee Paul Finnegan of Louth, well-known inter-county referee, will have charge of this one. Goals and plenty off them, a feature of Sevens football, of course, with Caherlistrane particularly impressive in beating Tyrone's Clonagale by 13 points in round 4, and Moy outgunning Galway's Corofin in the same round. But it must be said that Moy's record is particularly good. They've scored 19 goals, and a lot of big players out there today, but the heat is bound to be a factor. This is the 5th game that these sides have played. Players are bound to tire at this stage. But Paul Finnegan starts what should be a fairly hectic game between these two sides. And it's Caherlistrane straight away. Cormac Ban looking for the opening score. Whips it in well. Good score. Well, we've watched them all summer do it for Galway. And now Cormac Ban gets the opening score of this game. And the pace has increased now as Porrick Laverty comes forward. And that's a poor effort in the end, though. Carl McQuaid won't be happy with that one. Every opportunity could count at this stage of the competition. And that one was reasonably well placed, but was just too far there for Kieran Murphy. So it will be Mark Donnelly who will take the line ball for Moy in their blue and sky blue, but that one will run safely through as far as Philip Skelly. It's a slow build-up from Caherlistrane. So far, they've got the game's only score. Enda Heenahan, Cormac Ban, it always seems to finish up with Cormac Ban, and once again he takes a great score. Lovely football to watch. Slow build-up, eventually releasing it to Cormac Ban, and he gets his 2nd point of this game. First opportunity for Sean Kavanagh. Outside again to Mark Donnelly. And well cut out inside by Enda Heenahan. So the 2 attacks that Moy have had so far have come to nothing. One wide, one broken up. Sean Kavanagh trying to make his weight and strength tell. But again, this time through Rory Glynn. Caherlistrane again to Cormac Ban. He seems to be at the end of everything, but this time it's Brendan Murphy. Brendan Murphy with a chance. It's gone out for a 45. Great opportunity for a goal there for Caherlistrane. That really would have given them the ideal start as the players rush to the sideline to make the changes now. Of course, Sevens matches last for 20 minutes. That's 10 minutes aside, with a well-earned 3-minute break at half-time, and today it certainly will be well-earned. There's Cormac Ban again. He really is the general in everything. Taking possession and not quite taking the score this time, though. Well, a few debates behind the goals there. The umpire's not 100% certain. In the end, it doesn't count. But Caherlistrane still have their 2-point advantage. That might change, though. Philip Jordan tearing forward this time. But again, the hand in from Caherlistrane. Good challenge there from Mark Curry. From Killian Ban, in fact, got his hand into that one. And now it's with Philip Skelly. Lets himself be pressurised a little bit, but Caherlistrane keep possession. The turn and the twist, of course, players not allowed to play the ball backwards in their own half to their own player. Kieran Murphy, he's got a chance now. Well, that is a terrific goal. It seemed as if the Moy defence weren't quite sure what they should do. They waited and they waited, and suddenly Kieran Murphy saw the chance of the score. Great goal. And this has been a terrific start for Caherlistrane. They're now 5 points clear. Sean Kavanagh, he'll have to up his game at this stage, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. Remember that great goal he scored against Meath in Croke Park? He doesn't get as far as that this time round though, but he has won the free. And Sean Kavanagh himself will take this one. I was going to say without any difficulty he put it over, but it struggled. I think he almost had it scored before he kicked that ball, and it is a score for Sean Kavanagh though. The opening score for the Tyrone side. It's been low scoring enough given the scores they put up so far in this competition, but this really is the keen edge of the sevens competition. Free out for Moy. Killian Ban over carrying that time. Pádraig Laverty gets it going, and then he's off in the move. Pádraig Laverty, as he gets possession, a McCrory Cup winner with St Patrick's Academy in Dungannon. And number one really means very little in this game. Players love to come forward, but good defence there again from Caherlistrane. JJ Graney back to help out. And now the push forward, and a little bit of pace injected into the move. Noel Judge just bursting through the centre, can't get away though, but he's won his free. And that was the first time that we'd seen from Caherlistrane really that they were prepared to put a bit of pace into the attack. And it's going to be Cormac Ban that will take the kick. And in normal circumstances this wouldn't be a real problem. Conditions very good, bit of a breeze earlier on, but that seems to have died down. It's made it worse for the players. And this time, after a slight hesitancy, Cormac Ban is awarded his third point of this game. And Moy really struggling to get any sense of rhythm at this stage of the game. Sean Kavanagh used his weight there. Great run from the number 7. He's got support inside. He might just use that. He certainly does. Philip Jordan, the player who made the Tyrone number 7 his own in recent years, he's wearing the number 6 for his club, Moy. Perfect position, perfect finish. And Philip Jordan, who was one of the most relaxed looking players before this game. There was a bit more tension in the Caherlistrane dressing room. Maybe a sign of the number of times these players have had to play big games by comparison to Moy. And that one drifting right and wide though. So Moy back in the game. Philip Skelly looking around, a happier man just at the moment, D. Lavery. And perhaps a few minutes ago, his opposite number, Alan Flynn, who's manager of Ballinrobe, as well as Caherlistrane, and a business colleague of Mayo star Peadar Gardner. The opportunity now for Kieran Murphy again. Last time he got a goal, he certainly won't get one this time. And despite the rains of the summer, that was a heavy fall for Kieran Murphy. He felt every bit of that one. He just made a little note of that, Paul Finnegan. But the upshot of it though is that Cormac Ban has the chance to punish Moy, and no better man to do it. He really is in form, loves to come down that right hand channel and curl it in with his right foot. Make that point number 4 for Cormac Ban now. He scored all Caherlistrane's points, the goal coming from Kieran Murphy. Philip Jordan again, another chance of a goal perhaps, leaves it behind him this time. Is there a second chance in it? There might just be, and that one has gone over from Mark Jordan. No relation, former student at St Pat's Armagh. So the Jordans have got into the scoring act. And that one will go back to Moy, but it is noticeable that these players don't have quite the same pace as they had earlier in the day in the group stages of this competition, when they were running and running and running. They've now got to conserve energy, they know that. And And the boot in there from Rory Glynn saves the day. And a free for his side as well. Cormac Ban gets it through very, very quickly. Great opportunity once again, this time Enda Heenahan. Good blocking there from Sean Kavanagh. The number 7s clash. And Sean Kavanagh, worth his weight in gold. It's going to be a linesman's ball. It was Enda Heenahan, and he was superbly stopped in his tracks by Sean Kavanagh. It is going to be, in fact, a Caherlistrane ball. And once again, that one is sent in and sailing over. It was Cormac Ban again. You talk about being worth your weight in gold. He certainly is today. 5 points he's contributed. Caherlistrane the opportunity to put the pressure back on once again. And he gets it back once again. Noel Judge, the quick one. 2 with Brendan Murphy. And Caherlistrane are winning a few frees in this kind of position now. Cormac Ban might come back on again, and that's the nature of 7s to do that. So Killian Ban rushes to the sideline and Cormac Ban comes on. Each team can only have 7 players on the field at any one time, and they're taken from a maximum panel of 10, but players of course been interchanged as often as required, and Cormac Ban is required to take this free. He hits it not quite as well as before. There's still the chance there though. There's a bit of a scramble for that ball. Caherlistrane can finish it now, and do. Liam Dalton. And the referee blows for half-time. A first half dominated by Caherlistrane. They'll be happy with the way things have gone, in particular that man, their manager, Alan Flynn, at half-time here in this quarter-final. It's Caherlistrane ahead. The half-time scoreline: Caherlistrane 1 goal and 6 points. Moy 1 goal and 2. Welcome back to Stillorgan, where after a welcome break, the sides are ready for second half action. Caherlistrane of Galway leading Moy of Tyrone by 4 points at half time. And that was a virtuoso first half performance from Cormac Ban in particular. He scored 5 points. And Paul Finnegan gets them underway straight away. Philip Jordan, the first half goal scorer for Moy, first in possession. And you suspect that Moy will be much more involved this time. Colm Kavanagh, didn't see much of him in the first half, making one of those charges forward that he likes to do, and finishing well. And that's exactly what you can expect now in this second half from Moy. Colm Kavanagh realised the space was there. It wasn't an easy angle. He took the score well though. And now just 3 points between them. Cormac Ban, plenty of space, but Moy standing off him, and Cormac Ban really was invited to go for the score there. He'd no trouble whatsoever. And the referee there seems to have a little bit of a problem. And something has happened over on this side of the field, to which the referee is going to have a word. So 6 points for Cormac Ban now, and the referee there just taking the name of one of the Moy officials, I think it is, who had strolled over onto this side of the field, away from the main body of officials. And so we're back to football now. And it's Caherlistrane. Rory Glynn holds on to it, and then straight away passed it to Cormac Ban. He might get the return pass. He won't have to though, because Brendan Murphy has it now. Simple enough tap over. It'll just about squeeze inside the upright. I'd say Brendan Murphy was a relieved man there, because he had a huge amount of time to go for the shot. And by the time he decided to go for it, He seemed almost not to be as sure as he was earlier on, but it did just squeeze inside the upright for the point for the Galway side. So after that good response from Moy, Caherlistrane looking at the team with much more energy. Cormac Ban goes for a real driven score and gets it as well. Oh, that's brilliant shooting from Cormac Ban. Well, hats off to the man. That really was something special. He just laid back on that one, full of confidence, and gets his 7th point. Is there a response to that? Colm Kavanagh? Oh, great goal. Well, the moment that Caherlistrane get a brilliant point, the response is a brilliant goal from Moy and Colm Kavanagh. This one isn't over by any means. And Moy will have possession once again. Goal separates them. That's 21 goals now that Moy have scored in their matches so far. Philip Jordan. I'm not too sure if that was an attempted shot or a pass. It gives possession back to their opponents, Caherlistrane, however. But you can visibly see players struggling in this heat. And the referee, I think, spotted there that that was a pass back in player's own half. And I think that's why he blew up for that. So the pressure back on Caherlistrane. There's a player in a good position to take it up, and that's Mark Jordan. But he's not going to be needed, though, because Carl McQuaid feels confident, and he was fully justified in feeling confident as he taps that one over. And a game that looked for a while there as if it was going away from Moy sees them now very much back in contention. Cormac Pan having to do some donkey work, but over carrying. Philip Jordan just doing enough there to hold him up, and now another great opportunity for Colm Kavanagh again. Will he go for another goal? Not this time. In fact, he's put it wide. And in the process, he's picked up an injury as well. And that looked like Colm Kavanagh had an easier opportunity than the one he took just a few minutes ago. He fell awkwardly, perhaps, as he fisted that ball in. The ball went to the left of the upright. And he's back up onto his feet. It's not exactly a sign of a player who's ready to get back into the action fully or 100%. But he's not going over to the sideline for a change. Oh, he is now, in fact. He's decided that he should go off. No, he's not. Changed his mind again. One of the Caherlistrane players making the change instead. And there's just 2 points between the sides. And again, Colm Kavanagh. Oh, we're hearing whistles in the background, but it isn't for Colm Kavanagh. And this time he makes no mistake. Well, Colm Kavanagh, after a quiet first half, really has exploded in this second half. Back into the action. And now just one between them. This means that Caherlistrane really do need a score at this stage. The man who got the goal for them, Kieran Murphy, plays it into Cormac Ban. If anyone can produce the goal, he can. But he has to lay it off this time. And the result is much the same, though, because Enda Heenahan gets the point for Caherlistrane. So Caherlistrane just about keeping themselves in front. They've been hit with a few body blows in this second half, but they've maintained the control, though. Cormac Ban, all he needs is just a sliver of light, and this time, for the second time, he plays it out. And the same result. Enda Heenahan read the situation well. The Moy players converged on Cormac Ban. Cormac Ban saw that Enda Heenahan was free on the right, and in the second time in quick succession, he takes the point. Colm Kavanagh now charging through. Can he get the goal? Travelling, says the referee. Went too far with the ball. And the moment that Caherlistrane saved the day there was the moment of the challenge, the shoulder. And now it goes the other way around. Well, Paul Finnegan certainly is being very, very precise on players taking too many steps in this game. Just when it looked as if Moy had made the breakthrough, they hadn't. And then just when it looked as if Caherlistrane had saved the day, they haven't either. Sean Kavanagh, no trouble whatsoever for Sean Kavanagh. It's all so simple for him, but it's going to take a huge effort in the final minutes now from Moy to save this game. And that's real danger for them. Oh, surely the goal now. Yes is the answer to that. Rory Glynn. It was 2-on-1, and there was really no doubt about what was going to happen once the ball was in the possession of Rory Glynn. Back 5 points in front, and on a bit of a charge now. Moy had committed too many players into the Caherlistrane half. They were caught at the back, and Mark Curry was stranded on his own. The result, the goal for Rory Glynn. Things can change very quickly in sevens, but Moy just haven't looked as bright and sprightly as normal. Philip Jordan just throws that one in there and hopes for the best. And that's a sign, perhaps, of things not going well for Moy. Good defence, though. And for the first time in this game, I think we've seen a little bit of cramp. And that's understandable at this stage of the day. It's really a case of Caherlistrane playing keep ball now for the next few minutes. Not to do anything silly, nothing rash. Take the scores if they're there. Kilmacuds will do that. Comes inside Sean Kavanagh, who looked a tired player, as Kilmacuds sends over another glorious effort. I'm sure there's a lot of people who may be seeing Kilmacuds in his club situation for the first time today, and he's been very, very impressive. 8 points he scored in this game. 2 clear goals between them now. That mightn't be for long, though. Philip Jordan does well, fends off the challenge and puts it to the left and wide. Well, surely that's it now for Moy. They needed to take every opportunity, and Philip Jordan knows that. That would have given them a sliver of a chance in this game, but he drove it wide. And Colm Kavanagh perhaps was hoping for the pass that never came. He's in there again, this time brother Sean, older brother. He'll not go for the point, though. Surely they've got to get a goal. He knows that. And that was a high challenge, but in fact the referee's given it the other way. The goal won't count because the referee... And Sean Kavanagh could be in trouble. He was incensed by the decision of the referee. And Paul Finnegan now will have to calm things down, because there was some contact there between Sean Kavanagh and the referee. Sean Kavanagh felt that he had been fouled there. The referee said he was actually over carrying the ball. Sean Kavanagh went for the free, what he thought was going to be the free. And now, after he put his hand on the shoulder of the referee, Paul Finnegan with both Kavanaghs now side by side. The number 8 is Colm, number 7 is Sean, and he's speaking to both players. And it's hard to know what could be the upshot of that, but he's given 2 yellow cards, and that perhaps a sign of the frustration that Sean Kavanagh was feeling in this game, because Moy just weren't getting into the game. They're still looking for a goal, though. And this time it's Colm Kavanagh again. He's got Sean Kavanagh alongside him. He's brought down, and now he is really annoyed. That looked like a great goal opportunity. So this game has been a difficult game to referee in the last few minutes. And Paul Finnegan's decision earlier on was the one that Sean Kavanagh reacted to, and he just put his hand on the referee's shoulder. Shouldn't have done it. Maybe his momentum carried him into the referee, and the referee, in fairness to him, was very, very calm about the whole situation. But that could so easily have been a red card for Sean Kavanagh, and he will know that there was an explosive quarter-final in the Castlewellan Sevens this year that became so difficult the referee sent both teams off. It's not quite like that here, as we see the penalty now. And it's going to be Sean Kavanagh who will take it, and he rolls it in, but surely it's too late for Moy. They need another goal, and they need it immediately to save this game. And time really has run out on them. I know the referee is adding on time for a number of stoppages, and he might now have to blow this one up. Well, Caherlistrane really making life difficult for themselves, and there'll be a few nervous moments for them now, because if Moy get this possession and get the goal, the sides are level. It looked unlikely, and the referee throws it up. Sean Kavanagh gets it. Surely he'll go for the goal. That's the only thing in his mind. Has to play it outside there. Carol McQuaid goes out looking for it, but Caherlistrane have it back. And the referee is going to have a word with one of the players, but it seems as if he has indeed blown for full time, and he's not going to take much further decision on that incident. But a game that finished in a fairly fractious manner. Moy get the late goal, but it's never enough, and so Caherlistrane go on to the semi-final, and the players do in fact embrace and end up shaking hands, but Sean Kavanagh is not a happy man. Interesting game. Final scoreline: Caherlistrane 2 goals and 12 points, Moy 3 goals and 6.
And you're very welcome back to the Kilmacud Crokes All-Ireland Football Sevens. We're down to the final 4, and the first semi-final coming up in just a couple of moments. The beautiful evening sunshine here at Glenalbin is providing the picturesque backdrop as Longstone from County Down prepare to take on Castlewellan. Manager Frank Dawson, well, he'll be relying on the Doran brothers, Mark, Barry and Stephen, for inspiration, and Ambrose Rogers at number 7 should have a big game too. Castlewellan from County Down, the defending champions, backboned by Down senior goalkeeper Mickey McVeigh, and the midfield partners Damien McGrady and Fintan McGreevy will be relied upon to win a lot of possession to convert to scores for Cathal Crilly and Lee McKibben inside. This, of course, is a repeat of last year's final. Match referee Paul Faulkner from County Dublin. And we'll be hoping for a repeat of last year's showpiece final, a match that was decided in the end on penalties. Longstone will be playing, as always, in their traditional red strip from left to right. Castlewellan in their customary green with black tinges. And straight away a chance for Longstone. Will Longstone from County Down book their place in the semi-final with a facile victory over Kickham's from County Antrim? Interestingly, conserved a lot of energy in the final 5-6 minutes of that match in anticipation of this game, as we watch Castlewellan and Cathal Crilly hit the front very quickly indeed. Poor kick out right to Crilly, but credit to Mark Doran, he recovered for his mistake and has saved his own day. Well, that would have been the quintessential nightmare start for Longstone. Well, Castlewellan really are the experts at this game of sevens. Defending champions, their own famous tournament just ran a couple of weeks ago as well, where they got a chance to hone their game. Longstone play possession football. Ambrose Rogers, so much hope and expectation resting on his young shoulders. Rogers levels the match. 90 seconds into the first half. And that's just a little glimpse of what Rogers is capable of. Just to add an interesting footnote, both of these teams will meet again next weekend in the Down Senior Football League. Vital game for both. Castlewellan trying to stave off relegation, and Longstone pushing for a place in the top 4. But all that now very much on the back burner. This is Daniel Morgan. Good score. Castlewellan lead once more. Morgan in off the bench and makes an instant impact. Big crowds out to watch these semi-finals now. One of these teams will be back in a final for the second successive year. But who will give? This is Connor Smith, outside to Barry Doran. Well, he could do that all day long. He's been doing it all day long, in fact. Level for the second time. It's such a simple tactic. Try and find Barry Doran, and he will inevitably do the rest. Straight away, Castlewellan into enemy territory. Rory McArdle recycled. And now Bernard McAleenan up from the full back line. This is Cathal Crilly. Patient, measured build-up. And David Morgan's kick just off target. Well, there is very little left to find out about Sevens football for both of these teams. They've been training for weeks in anticipation of this fixture. Longstone hit the front for the first time. Mark Poland, the scorer. 3 Ulster teams in the final 4 of this year's O'Neill's Kilmacud Crokes All-Ireland Sevens. And 2 of them here, 2 of the real heavyweights. Good defending by Cormac Poland. Line ball to Castlewellan and Cathal Crilly. It really is a beautiful evening for a game of football. Harley, a puff of breeze, and Crilly has caught that sweetly. Level again. That's the 3rd time in these first 4 odd minutes. Castlewellan have really blazed a trail to this stage of the competition. Their toughest game coming in the quarter-final, 5-point win over Thomas Davis. Chance here for Doran. He is lethal when he gets inside the cover. And again, Ambrose Rogers, the architect, and Doran could have had a goal.